Hi everybody, she's Adriana and welcome back to her channel. Wow, it's been a long time. So many things have happened and you're probably wondering, Adriana, where have you been, silly goose? And we're about to tell you. Cool transition.
Cool transition to what?
I don't know, just to add the next thing. Just a cut and then you'll start your next thing, but it'll be like a...
Hi everybody, I'm Adriana and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've said those words. If you're new here, hey, hope you stick around. But if you have been around my little corner of the internet for a while, you might be wondering where I've been. And so I got married last year, which you guys probably know, or if you don't, hey, that was my husband right there, being dramatic per usual. But yeah, I am excited to get started with this YouTube channel again after we got married. Things in life, just, you know, adulting in real life and jobs and starting a business and all this stuff, and it just was a lot. So we just needed a good bit of time just to get our bearings on life. But I feel like we're in a good spot right now and we're figuring things out, I think, kind of, sorta. I mean, things are still crazy, but I feel like it's a manageable crazy where I can bring you guys along now. If you guys are new around here, my husband and I, Robert, we started a wedding videography company last year. Just as an update for all of you guys who have been following along, it's going really well. We love what we do. And we'll get into a little bit more about that later, but we have a wedding today and it's at a beautiful wedding venue called Bella Cosa in Lake Wales. I believe that's where it's at. We are getting ready to leave. We already have all our stuff packed up. Robert's the one who typically gets all of the things together, charged up, and we're about to go get some lunch before we head out. We'd like to get there about an hour early just so that we can set up our equipment and get things ready. So I'm going to take you guys along for that. I haven't vlogged a wedding before, obviously because my priority is actually filming the wedding for the couple and making sure we get really good stuff there. But if I find myself in little in-between moments here and there, I might whip out the camera and vlog a little. We'll see what happens. And then tomorrow's just going to be a chill day, just getting things together for the week. It's a busy week of work for me, and honestly it's a busy week of work for Robert too, just because he's got a lot of stuff to edit. We'll dig into life updates a little bit later, but yeah, excited to be back. Okay, so we are in the car. We are heading out to the wedding venue now. We just stopped by to get lunch at Tijuana Flats, which was actually really good. Oh yeah. I'll put a clip of what we got in here. They just came out with this new like shrimp line of menu items.
Anyone who's anyone is in on the new shrimp line.
I don't even know what you'd call it. It's just new shrimp menu items. And I got this like bowl. It was delicious. I was actually very impressed. And he got a really good looking quesadilla. So that was a big win from Tijuana Flats today. But when I got in the car,
oh, the fun we had.
Someone I follow on Instagram, she posted on her Instagram story like a mixture of her and her boyfriend, like of like what their kids would look like, and I was like, oh, I need to do this. And so I was like, what's the app? She said it's the Face app. So I downloaded the Face app, and for like the past 20 minutes I've been merging Robert and I's faces. I keep dropping my water bottle, that's why I keep having to lean in. Sorry, this is like chaotic, but I keep merging Robert and I's faces and the outcomes are so interesting. I'll go ahead and just put like the screenshot in here. So this is our son, according to the Face app. I didn't realize I would have such like pasty children, which is like a weird thing to say, but my brother and my sister are like very pale, like just very pale. I am very tan. Robert is a fairly tan fella, I would say.
Tanner than your siblings, for sure.
He's tanner than my siblings, and so like, it's just so funny.
I mean, this guy, wherever you put him, this guy right here is gonna be on TikTok, and he's gonna be thirst trapping, and I don't think I'm prepared for that.
Robert said he
as a father,
is really afraid of this man.
The only thing that is his saving grace is the fact that his father does not know how to talk to women. We established this last night, that Adriana was a miracle. So hopefully he'll just have the same social accessibility as his dad.
Okay, so that's our son. And then this is our daughter. I'll go ahead and put her in here. She's cute. It's having a harder time merging the faces for the girl, I think. But it's just so interesting to see like what features it picks and chooses from like my face and his face.
Again, they made her lighter in the face, but also lighter in the hair.
They did give her lighter hair, which is interesting because we both have really dark hair.
hair.
And it was so funny because I was like switching on and off like the picture from like what the original was to like the merged face, and he says that she looks like my best friend Zoe, and I'm like, he's like, are you from the future? And it was
Zoe's
really
a liar and a time traveler, and she hasn't been talking to us straight and true, so
that was a fun time. But now we're on the road. We're heading out to the reception, not the reception, the venue. It's really beautiful. I'm really excited about it. The weather's pretty overcast today. I'm hoping that the sky clears up for them. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain, but I would just really love some sunshine for some really beautiful golden view shots. So I forgot the business cards.
Alrighty, well, we can turn around. We got plenty of time.
Can we turn around?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, that's the reality. This is life. Just to preface, we went back home to get the business cards because I forgot them. And what happened? I was too busy creating our children. So I got business cards made a couple weeks ago for Golden View, and I designed them, but I just got them printed by like Vistaprint. And they're super cute. I love them a lot. That's the front. This is the back. We had a little bit of a coloring issue at first, but then they fixed it. But let's just talk about how perfect the headband I'm wearing matches with the business. Actually, okay, on camera it doesn't match the most perfectly, but I promise in real life it's nice, right?
It definitely looks much closer in real life than it does on camera.
That was so like, I was like, okay, well, I promise in real life it's good. Your laugh. I left my vlog camera in the car, so we're on my phone right now. It is Sunday, so it's the day after the wedding. It was a really good time. Got everything we needed. I'm pretty sure I'll plug in a couple of clips, or I did plug in a couple of clips. I haven't figured out exactly what I wanted to do yet because I really didn't take that many behind the scenes, which I should have expected because I'm always running around like a chicken with my head cut off at these weddings.
It's very hard to, get vlog footage while you have a whole other job to do that's moving.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles a
that
minute.
one is also definitely my priority because I'm getting paid for it. But this is Sunday. I am going to head out for lunch pretty soon. I'm meeting, I think at some point I've said this, I think in a vlog. Sorry, I have allergies this morning. That's why I'm like, ugh. But
I love the sharp contrast of, okay, we're getting ready for a wedding, and then the next shot is just gonna be like, hi everybody.
That's the day after a wedding where we're like dead. But yes, I am the internal vice president at like the national level for the sorority I was in college. And the chapter that's here in Orlando, the national board is having a lunch with them. So I'm gonna go out over to like the UCF area to hang out with them.
And I'm gonna have Taco Bell.
Is that what you're doing? I didn't realize that was the plan.
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the thing, but happy for you. Very
Thanks.
happy for you. Get a potato taco in my honor.
Absolutely.
But anyways, it's the morning, having some coffee. He's drinking water, hydrating, because at wedding days we're always so dehydrated because I forget to drink water. He goes to his so fast. It's a whole thing. But this morning we are just doing the final touches on a wedding video. He did an excellent job. Robert edits all of our wedding videos. I only edit like our promo stuff, so basically like anything that I'll put on Instagram and stuff. So like
if
that.
Any wedding videos you see feels like it has a man's touch to it, that's
no. I pick through everything he does with a very fine-tooth comb.
Oh yeah, there's been some lists that like it starts at the very top of the page and goes all the way down.
Yeah, this list was actually really small. It's like
flip, yeah.
It's like half of this paper of a list of edits to make. But I'm just going through it now, tweaking the color grading in a couple spots. But I'm really excited about it. We really liked this couple.
Yeah.
And we're really excited for them to have.
I hope you two know who you are. But
I doubt they're watching this, but I would
be your
be,
friend.
I would be shocked. But I'm really excited for them to have their video. It's probably my favorite wedding video we've done so far, just because the wedding day itself was just so smooth.
And so much cool stuff happened at that wedding too. Like
every wedding is so unique,
so cool.
but this was just a fun day. Like, we had fun too. So yeah, that's what we're up to. So right now I'll show you what the computer screen looks like. So this is a tour of Robert's desk.
The essential Pokemon.
The aesthetic,
and,
you know.
My amiibo.
Very, very Robert. And then there's my desk. But I think it is important for him to have a space that feels his. So I don't really micromanage what happens over here. But anyways, this is not what the timeline looks like. I promise you the timeline is actually a lot crazier than this.
Should I show them the timeline?
I guess you can, yeah. This is like... That's I feel like not even like the worst of it, because when you are deep in the editing of it, I feel like it's so much crazier.
Is like
this is cleaned up at this point.
Clips that are I always have clips that are like stacked on top of each other. Some are overlaying, like you can see over here, but really, I mean, when it wedges in between perfectly, like from each cut, I kind of just put them all in one line, just so that way it's not such a big disoriented mess. But man, if you want to see messes of timelines, I can show you messes.
Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like, and so I'll like scrub through. He has it like broken up, so I'll go through like the highlight video portion, and then he has like the ceremony video portion, and like maybe the speeches and dances portion. Then I'll go through each one and watch it. I just watched the highlight video. I'm not gonna show it to you guys because I'll just like link it in the description so that you can go watch it and see how fun of a day it was. But when I go to lunch, Robert will make any remaining edits that need to be made.
Any taco.
Export. And then I'll come back home. I have to do groceries today, just because we're leaving for a cruise next week, and we're really excited. Like, we really need this cruise.
Yeah.
Like, I need it a lot, but
this is only like what the first half of our week, and I would say it's the less busy half of what's to come. So
it's just we're really busy around here. We're like just going all the time, and we love what we do. I love my Universal job. I love this job, but it just you need a vacation sometimes, you know. And we're going on a Disney cruise. It's gonna be 5 days, and we're celebrating our anniversary. And it's gonna kind of be like a replacement for what we wanted our honeymoon to be.
Well, because our honeymoon was gonna be a Disney cruise.
Yeah, like we had a honeymoon and it was like fine. It was cool or whatever.
It was pretty good. All right, I watched a lot of Survivor and ate a lot of good food.
But
I'm not complaining.
We basically just like stayed at like a beach resort in the cold, rainy weather, so we didn't really leave the resort. And by beach resort, I mean like in Florida.
Darn,
we
trapped
drove
in a room with your future husband. That's gotta be horrible.
It wasn't anything glamorous or like we had hoped for.
Husband. Not future husband. No,
but
already married.
anyways, this is what we wanted to do for our honeymoon, and so we're excited to be able to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. How the heck, it's been a year. And we're gonna do a Disney cruise, and I think I'm gonna vlog that. We'll see how that goes. I think I'm gonna do that though.
So for those of you who are missing out or waiting for Adriana to post more Disney content, possibly this is it.
That's probably it though.
Who knows?
I'm not an annual pass holder anymore, and honestly, with how packed it is, I don't really have a desire to go. We went to Disneyland though. I'm gonna save some of this for my life update, because later I'm actually gonna sit down and like give you a full life update.
Yeah, we'd love to give you all the slideshow
and like a little recap of our first year of marriage. Actually, no, I'm gonna save the recap of our first year of marriage for our first year of marriage Q&A that we're doing later this week. But anyways, I need to do this, and I'm gonna get to work, and then I will talk to you guys later.
Toodles.
Cool.
Hello everybody. So, change of plans. We are still doing tweaks on the video, but I actually ended up not going to lunch like I said I was going to. I woke up with like really bad allergies, and we're like using this new like bath oil spray because like the water in our apartment is like really hard, which I don't know if that makes sense to other people. It's just like the type of water, and it's really dehydrating, and it's caused a lot of issues for Robert's skin, so I'm trying to like come up with ways to like get moisture back. And the bath oil that we bought, I used it for the first time last night in years. I used to use it when I was a kid, but I used it last night for the first time in a really long time, and it did not agree with me. And I think that's what's causing these allergies, but like I've just been out for the count all day. So I just stayed home just to be safe because as part of this live update, I guess I could tell you guys that literally the first week of January, we got COVID, and there's a whole story behind it that I'm not even going to go into, but just be safe, and if you know you're sick, just stay home. But what I meant to say by all of that is when we got it the first time, it started out just feeling like allergies, so I'm like, just in case, I'm gonna stay home. And I'm glad I did, because allergies just make me feel miserable. So I just took another shower right now and got back in pajamas just to try and like scrub the stuff off of me to see if I would just like stop breathing it in. So hopefully peace is in my future. But I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys my little life update here on my couch. That's where we're seated, literally propped up against my Bible, and we're just gonna chat. So this did not go the way I planned this weekend of my life, or this day at all. I really had planned to be a lot more productive today, but that was not in the cards for me. I think after this we're gonna work on that video, get that finished up. I'll probably make my grocery list for the week and see what I need. I probably won't actually do the groceries today, but I'll make the list and we can go get it tomorrow, which is fine. And then I need to get my tax paperwork together, which I did a pretty good job of organizing it before already, so it's pretty much ready. But we have an appointment with our accountant tomorrow to do our taxes. Real fun time. If you own a small business, or if you're a contractor, you know what I mean by it's a fun time, because it's totally not a fun time. But it's like not fun, but also I do like playing the game of like, how much can I pass off as like a tax write-off, you know what I mean? Because when you think about it, a lot of things count as business expenses, especially when you're a small business owner and work out of your home. Like there's so many things that you purchase that like you could not run your business without. Or even little things like, hey, we were at a wedding that was 3 hours away, I needed to buy lunch out, like that counts as a tax write-off. So I like that aspect of it, is in like the sense of like, I get to tell them how much was actually used to actually like further my business, which obviously, honestly, like I would never lie about anything, but I like that aspect of having to do my taxes, because then it's like more accurate to my business and like my life. But what I don't love about it is the amount of paperwork and like just keeping track of everything that it takes. But in this past year, I've just learned so much. Like owning business has just like opened my mind, and I have learned so much about that I'm actually really proud of how much I've learned about that whole process. So if you guys are interested in owning a small business and taxes freak you out, hit me up, because I know a lot now. But anyways, yes, so for this life update, I guess I can kind of start with when we got married. Our first year of marriage has been wonderful, honestly, and we're gonna do a first year of marriage Q&A, because I'm filming this right now on Sunday, February 6th, I think it is. And our anniversary is on Friday, February 11th, which is crazy to me. I'm like, where the heck did the year go? So we're gonna do a first year of marriage Q&A, and I already put it up on Instagram. I got some really good questions, and it actually really inspired me, because I, for a while, was like, I want to go back to YouTube, but I don't want to go back to YouTube without an idea of how I'm going to proceed, you know what I mean? In the sense of like, what videos am I gonna make, because I knew that I didn't want to make like the typical week in my life or day in my life or vlog just for the heck of it, you know what I mean? Because really on the day-to-day I don't really have a ton going on, so I probably wouldn't ever do that. So I'd probably only ever do like weekend in my life if I'm actually doing something, because you know, we live that 9 to 5 life now, or more like 9 to 6. I don't know who actually works 9 to 5 unless you're working through your lunches, which I do quite often. But anyways, but yeah, anyways, with the Q&A, it actually really inspired me to kind of make like a little series and make more videos surrounded on like my experience as a younger married person, and just like what to expect, how to prepare, kind of a thing, because it's kind of come to my attention that I feel like people don't really talk about that very much. I see a lot of videos that talk about like marriage, but really all they say is like, oh, it's hard, or oh, it's like challenging and you need to prepare and this and that, or they talk about is sex or like stuff like that, or just like nothing that really helps somebody prepare or like understand what to expect. So I kind of want to do that, because not that I'm like the most wise person on marriage ever, but I feel like a lot has been revealed to me through marriage, that if I was a single gal, I would be curious about, on like what to expect, how to prepare for it, like what I learned and things like that. So I'm gonna make more videos about that, and I'm really excited about it because I feel like I have a lot to say on it. And like marriage is something that I feel very strongly about because I think it's such a blessing, and like I feel like there are two ways that you can like directly live out like being Christ-like to someone, and it is 100% to your children and to your spouse. But I feel like, you know, everybody says like you don't truly know like the sacrifices of Jesus or like God's love until you have children. But I'm like, but those children are yours. Like you have so much love for those children. And yes, you love your spouse, but like you have no blood relation to your spouse aside from a vow that you made vocally. That's what's tying you to your spouse. So like your effort to love that person has to be so much greater, and your willingness to serve that person even when you don't want to, like you don't have like the love for your child that's bonding you to like make you want to serve them, in the way that like it is an active choice to serve your spouse first. So I don't know, I can go on about that for a while, which is why it's going to be like a whole different video and a whole bit different topic. But that definitely inspired me a little bit. So that kind of gave me like the push I needed to really make YouTube videos again. But yes, we got married. Everything's cool. Everything's great. Robert's amazing. You know, learned a lot. Nothing's perfect, but we had a lot of fun our first year of marriage. And it wasn't really expected, you know, like I would say our first year of marriage was nothing that I expected because I didn't know what to expect. I did not know any other young married people at that point. And the only other marriages that I really had to look at were my parents, which is a very different situation. So I didn't really know what to expect at all, really. And I try to take everybody's opinions with a grain of salt because everybody tells you when you're a young person getting married is like, oh, just wait, like, and they make it this big negative thing, which I hate, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it actually was really good and we're really happy. And I could not imagine not being married. I love our life together, but everything that happened in our first year of marriage are all things that I never expected to happen. For example, and I'm going to try and like leave out all of like the things that actually have to do with our marriage, but like I never expected to launch Golden View our first year of marriage, you know, and I never expected for us to travel as much as we did in our first year of marriage, you know. In our first year of marriage, we went to Las Vegas, we went to Arizona, we went to California, we went on our first Disney cruise together, our first cruise together, period, which was really exciting. We also, I guess that's it, really, right? Oh no, we went on 2 cruises together. We went on another cruise together. We went to the Dominican Republic together for the first time. And we also went to the Bahamas together. So we did a really nice bit of things together in our first year of marriage that we did not expect to. And I realized like the privilege and blessing that is, you know. I don't take any credit for all of that. A lot of it just happened to be right place, right time, just right circumstance kind of a thing. Like really great deals happening within the travel industry. Just like, you know, cruises were super cheap because they were just starting to come back and you could only go on them if you're vaccinated, and not many people are willing to do that. So it was affordable there, and a lot of things, it was just right place, right time, God's timing, and we were able to do a lot in our first year of marriage, which was really, really cool. And we also got to travel a decent bit for these weddings, you know, so it's kind of nice because, you know, we would do a wedding in St. Augustine, we got to make a weekend out of it, and we had to be there already anyways, so it was all like part of our business expenses, really. So whether it was St. Augustine or like Destin or things like that. So it was really cool. We got to do a lot in that sense. And we also got to learn a lot about just like working together and being together all the time. I think that our first year of marriage was really unique because we're literally together 24/7, which is so funny because before we got married, I thought that I would not love that. In fact, before we got married, something that I was concerned about was not having like me time. And now that we're married, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, we have gotten really good at being separate but together to where we both feel like we're getting our me time, but also we like make active moments for us to actually be spending time together. So it was interesting, but it was really good. And so other things that happened were, I'm sure the last time I spoke to you guys, I was working with Andy Mejia & Co., which is a wedding calligraphy and signage company here in Central Florida. I was working with them for a while on contract with Universal, and eventually my contract with Universal got bumped up to 40 hours. So I ended up leaving that job, and then I was working with Universal for 40 hours a week. And then towards the end of 2021, I was brought on full-time, even though 40 hours like is full-time. I was like status full-time, so now I'm an employee and not a contractor, so I get like benefits and like pay time off and things like that, which is cool. Sometimes I miss the contractor life, I will say, just because the pay is better. When you're a contractor, just in general, you typically get paid more because you're not getting benefits, and the taxes are way higher when you're on contract and things like that. But things are going really well right now. And it was just like definitely the right timing, because now at the end of 2021, our apartment, and I'm sure everybody is experiencing this, raised our rent by they were going to raise our rent by a ridiculous amount. But we spoke to them and they were able to get it down by $100, not from what we were paying, but by what we were going to have to pay. So we extended our lease, and we spoke to them and we were like, hey, we want to buy a house, like straight up, and we want to do it in this time frame. So what does it look like? Can we break this lease when that time comes? And they said yes. So ultimately we decided that it was going to be more economically or financially wise for us to just extend our lease and then break it when we find a house that we love, which actually works out, because if it needs some work and some love, then we have a place to live and work on it without having to live in it and work on it at the same time. So that's been really great. With being moved into full-time, that kind of lets me do that now, which is great, because banks don't like contractors, and especially young contractors, so being full-time is really nice, especially because of my history with the company. The banks see that and they see that consistency, which is nice. So we're actually getting our taxes done tomorrow, and then as soon as that's done, I'm sending it to the bank, because I've already spoken to so many mortgage consultants, and we are going to go through like the pre-approval process, which we kind of already did a simulation, so we kind of already know how much they would approve us for, but it's just a matter of having it done officially. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a little bit of what this week is going on, because I just want to like give all the paperwork to them so that when we leave for our cruise, that can just be worked on, and then when we get back, we can actually proceed with the process and make moves. It's a little scary because the housing market right now is absolutely disgusting, to say the least, and there's not very many options in Central Florida. I don't necessarily need to be directly in Orlando, but there's just not very many options at all. So we're praying that the Lord just like makes the right house available at the right price at the right time, with minimal headaches, you know, not needing a lot of fixing. So if you could just be in agreement with us in praying for that, I would be really appreciative. But Robert's playing a game with his brother, if you're wondering. But yeah, so prayers are definitely welcome for that. But we're really excited to get started, and then see what the rest of the year has for us. So we're excited. But yeah, that's the update, I think. A couple other things: we're still looking for a home church. We're still on the hunt for a community. I can't really say the hunt. We haven't really been trying that hard, but also it's been kind of hard to want to try when there is the thought of like, our hope is to be moving soon. So do we go through the effort of finding a church and planning ourselves a community when in a month, who knows, we could just up and move somewhere else, and then that's like too far or something like that, you know? So it's been kind of like, do we not kind of a thing. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, prayers accepted for that too, because I desperately want community. I can say that the Lord's been really good about providing community in different ways. You know, like it's been really nice being on like the national board, and I was coaching cheerleading for a hot minute there, and got really close with one of my now really close friends, I would say, through that. So he's been really cool about like surrounding us with people in like different ways, but I'm definitely still looking for a home church, and just to be able to plan ourselves in community. And I'm really hoping that when we do find a house, we can get into that situation, because, you know, like we need that as Christians, we need that, but also like I just would love to have that happen before we have children, you know what I mean? I would love to have like a community that we can have support in, we can support people in, and that whenever we have babies, they already are like born into this community that's gonna love them and be that support for them. So yeah, so that's pretty much it there. I think that's my life update. There are a couple new things around the apartment, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys. I'm not going to do like a whole apartment tour video because I already did that, and it's really not that significantly different from what it was before, but there are new little things around the apartment that you guys haven't seen because we haven't talked in so long. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that. I'm probably going to clean up a little bit though first. Thanks for chatting. I feel like this is a very lax vibe for a vlog, but honestly I think that's the way we're moving forwards right now. I think just as I grow up, I guess I am, and not just that, but like as I grew up, but also as like my life has progressed, what I used to love YouTube for before has kind of changed. Like I saw YouTube as like a creative outlet before, but everything else in my life requires so much creative energy for me that now doing YouTube would just feel like I'm still working, you know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what contributed to me just being like tired and not wanting to put in the work for it, because, you know, like all the time, whether it's for my Universal job or whether it's for Golden View or whether it's for photography, I'm always editing, always, all the time. I'm always editing video or photo, or I'm doing something with social media. And I could go on forever about like what I do for like my job, but that's another thing, is I don't actually ever expect to really go into very much detail about what I do with my Universal job. I know a lot of you are really interested in that, and I don't blame you, because bless you, I don't blame you, because I would also be really interested in it, but I think that just for my own protection, I will not be speaking very much about that at all and what I do there. If I go for like a park day, I'll bring you guys along, but as far as like what I do for work, I just can't really talk about it, so I just want to tell you guys that in ahead of time. It's a really fun job, it's really cool, but so I can keep it, I don't want to talk about it really. But Golden View, I'm happy to talk about that all the time. I will happily bring you along for all the Golden View things if I can remember, and as I like get better at showing behind the scenes things. It's hard to do that when the both of us are like on work mode. But with that being said, part of the reason why I kind of like dipped out was just because I was saturated in creating content all the time as a job, that this no longer felt like a fun thing. It just felt like more work. And so I'm actually really glad that I took the break, because that gave me time to, even though I did not do very much resting our first year of marriage, I think that that would have put a strain on just me. So I think it's for the best that that happened. So moving forward, vlogs are kind of going to be a lot more laid back. Videos in general are going to be a lot more laid back, which I think I prefer consuming that now. I prefer the more like I'm just chatting with a friend and like I can go drive my car and listen, as opposed to like getting up in the morning and like showing you me making my bed for the 1,000th time, or showing you make my coffee for like the 1,000,000th time. And like I'm cool with that if I'm like specifically doing like a morning routine or something like that, but it's just not sustainable for me anymore. So if you like lax content and behind the scenes of weddings and home buying stuff, because I do want to bring you along for that. This is just going to be a very real representation of my life. And it's just definitely going to be more chatty and just kind of like if I was hanging out with a friend and catching them up on what my life is like, which I think is good because it's kind of what I need right now anyways. And that's part of the YouTube community that I missed, was I definitely felt like I had friends that I was catching up with, and I need that. So I'm excited to do that some more, and I think that there's just going to be some exciting life things happening this year that I want to share. So yes, I missed you guys. It's been great. So thanks for following along. This isn't the end of the vlog. I'm just feeling reflective. So I'm gonna get up from the couch, drink some water because I'm dehydrated. Thankfully, I think that shower did help, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around the apartment. Okay, quickly gonna show you some new additions to our apartment. First off are these really cutie little mirrors here. I got them from Amazon. I really like them. You might actually have seen them before. I don't know if I ever showed you them, but I think they're really cute, and they just fill up this space pretty well. I also added this little garland. I left it up from Christmas time, but I just think it's really cute, so I left it. We also got this mirror, and I just was obsessed. I love it. I got it from this store called At Home. Robert's mom was really sweet and got it for me because I was obsessed with it, but I just think it's really pretty. I love the little branch detailing here, and originally I was like, ooh, I could take this to our new house, and I was like, no, I'm opening it right now. It's staying here. Other new things are this lovely Dutch oven, and I'm obsessed with it. I think it's a beautiful decor piece, and I also love to make soups in it. Then we have this calendar, which again, I can't remember if you guys have seen this or not. Forgive me if you've already seen it. But I know it definitely wasn't here when we moved into the apartment, and I love it so much. It literally just has like, yeah, it's imperative to have, just like with what we do and working together and staying organized, and it's also just really pretty to look at. Also, this corner of our apartment, you know, this was here from when we moved in, but we have since extended it a little bit. This is also kind of an extension of our office. Here I have a Cricut that I got for Christmas, our printer, a little label maker, and then in these drawers right here, I have either some things for the Cricuts, some like craft supplies, and here I keep like all of our business cards, some random cords and stuff like that. We have a lot of our Golden View stuff that we keep in that luggage. But yeah, that's kind of like this area, and what's really cool is that like it has this flap here that can go up and stay open that can extend the desk, which is really nice because then I can put my laptop there if I'm ever working with these things, which is really helpful. I've been trying to use a lot more of my time doing like crafty things lately, just like if I'm chilling, and actually I did not know this was gonna be in here. I was really expecting to get it wrong the first drawer. But I've been really trying to not, like, when my workday is done, like, stop working. No Golden View stuff, no Universal stuff, just stop working. And I've been really enjoying embroidery lately, and that's been a fun, just like restful activity to do in the evenings. So yeah, that's this little corner. And then of course my desk, which I don't think really has changed very much since the last time we've talked to each other. So yeah, that's our apartment.